Caroline here. Today we're talking about grammar, and if grammar makes you want to lay your head on your desk and cry with the lights off in your classroom, don't worry, this video is for you, and I have been in that same position. Nothing seems to be more painful than teaching students all the different types of nouns and then teaching them how to use them. And somehow at the end of the year, they're still going to be telling you that run is a noun. Worry not. Today I'm sharing 3 ways to save time when it comes to those grammar lessons. No more rote memorization and painful practice for your students. It's all about putting the power in their hands and saving you time in your day. Tip number 1 to save time in your grammar lessons is to focus on the lesson piece of it. We believe in the power of a mini lesson, and a mini lesson is one that is short and sweet. Would you believe me if I told you my grammar block is less than 15 minutes every single day? That's because I use a mini lesson. Now, to get to that point, there's a few steps you can take. Teachers love to talk. Teachers like to talk so much, they end up on YouTube talking to strangers. It's so easy to take a lesson and just run with that conversation with your students. That's okay, that's part of the fun of what we do. However, when it comes to saving that time in your classroom, a mini lesson can be hugely helpful. To cut down on the length of that grammar lesson, we suggest recording yourself. That way you can go back, watch the lesson ahead of time, and see what things was I repeating multiple times. Where did I say the same thing, just 2 slightly different ways? When you can watch yourself, the next time you actually teach the lesson, you're going to be really cognizant of those things and that timing. Also, think about teaching with a timer. We are in the age of the Apple Watch, so it's so nice when you can have that timer right on your wrist and it'll just buzz and say, okay, you've taught for 8 minutes now, make sure we're getting towards the end. Or use an actual timer. Students have been super responsive in my classroom to having that timer visible for them to see as well. I think it gives a real sense of urgency and importance to what you are talking about. Last but not least, practice that lesson with someone ahead of time. If you're really trying to go from a 20-minute lesson to a 10-minute lesson, having that practice time and feedback from a friend can make a huge difference. All right, if we're focusing on the mini lesson, how in the world am I going to teach everything about nouns in just 10 minutes? And I'm here to tell you, you're not. You're not going to teach everything about nouns in just 10 minutes. But maybe you could teach one little piece of nouns in 10 minutes. We think focusing on one small skill at a time makes all the difference in your grammar lessons. Grammar is huge, grammar is broad, and grammar is really important. So we want to make sure our students are mastering these skills piece by piece. So instead of saying, this week I'm teaching nouns in my 10 minutes, maybe just teach proper and common nouns in that 10 minutes. And then next week, you're going to move on to a different form of nouns. Same thing for verbs. You don't want to do verbs and verb tenses and irregular verbs and helping verbs all in the same week. That's a huge amount of content. Break it down into small pieces for your students. That way, you can really hit what you need to hit in that mini lesson every day. Our third and final tip to help you save time in your grammar lessons is to take grammar everywhere else. Luckily, grammar is one of those skills that truly surrounds your students all day long. They just don't realize it yet. A lot of time we're teaching these skills in isolation, so students aren't seeing the connection between the grammar in your lesson and the grammar all around them. So our suggestion to you is to bring out the grammar lessons all day long. Can you use grammar in science? Yes, you can. Think about the adjectives your scientists are using to describe the solids, liquids, and gases they are observing. Have them point out nouns from your read aloud and reading, and as they line up to leave for PE every day, make them give you a verb in the past tense. This all day long practice is going to help cement those grammar skills for your students. One of my favorite resources to talk about every time I talk about grammar are our grammar units. That's right, Not So Wimpy Teacher has full year's worth of grammar instruction for grades 2, 3, 4, and 5. Within these grade level bundles, you're getting every resource you need to run a powerful 10 to 15 minute long grammar block every single day of the week. The way our suggested schedule rotates is with a mini lesson on Monday where you introduce the skill you're focusing on. You will have an interactive notebook activity to use on Tuesdays, grammar practice in the context of sentences on Wednesday, task cards for Thursday, and a quick assessment on Fridays. This is an amazing resource because it really lays it all out for you. And it comes with every single piece. When I go into my grammar block every single week, I know I have everything that I need to practice these skills with my students and then assess their mastery on Fridays. Grammar unit, frequently asked questions. You said there's task cards and my students only have 10 minutes a day for grammar. How are they going to do task cards in 10 minutes a day? Give them the 10 minutes for a task card rotation. Don't grade the ones that they don't finish. Just grade the ones they get done. My students hate grammar and are continuing to make mistakes in their own writing. Are you teaching grammar and bringing those lessons over into writing? Students need to know that those grammar lessons need to follow into their writing. Grammar is the foundation of writing. That's why we think it is such an important part of your day. I don't even know where to start with grammar. What should I do first? Don't worry, our bundles do it all for you, including the teaching sequence and the order that we suggest, working through grammar standards that are appropriate for your grade level. If you guys want to grab the bundle that's just right for your students and their grammar instruction, it's going to be linked up in the cards and down in my description box. These grammar bundles really are so easy to use and it makes that time in your day really, really powerful and it takes all the planning stress off of you, which is ideal to me. No more crying over grammar lessons. Not around here with Not So Wimpy teachers. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you are leaving with some tips and tricks to get that grammar working hard in your classroom and with some time well saved. As always, let us know down in the comments anything else you want to see from us, and we hope you have a not so wimpy day. Bye!